is a Simon Snow fan. Okay, the whole world is a Simon Snow fan, but for Kath, being a fan is her life, and she's really good at it. She and her twin sister ran, I don't know how to say this word, ensconced themselves in the Simon Snow series when they were just kids. It's what got them through their mother leaving, reading, rereading, hanging out in Simon Snow forums, writing Simon Snow fanfiction, dressing up like the characters for every movie premiere. Kath's sister has mostly grown away from the fandom, but Kath can't let go. She doesn't want to. Now that they're going to college, Ran has told Kath that she doesn't want to be roommates. Kath is on her own, completely outside of her comfort zone. She's got a surly roommate with a charming, always around boyfriend, a fiction writing professor who thinks fan fiction is the end of civilized world, a handsome classmate who only wants to talk about words, and she can stop worrying about her dad, who's loving and fragile and has never really been alone. For Kath, the question is, can she do this? Can she make it without Ren holding her hand? Is she ready to start living her own life? And does she even want to move on if it means leaving Simon Snow behind? So when I first read this book, not first read it, I haven't even finished it. I always like drag it around, but I'm gonna remove this because I hate it. Book lovers are gonna hate me, but when I first read the book, so this book reminds me of like any fangirl trying to like in love with Harry Potter, and I'm definitely one of those. I love Harry Potter so much, so much, so much. But anyway, let's get started with fangirl. But first, a cup of tea. Chamomile tea, if you didn't watch my other video. Okay, let's get started. For Jennifer, who has always had an extra lightsaber. Okay. Fall semester 2011. I was 13. Okay, the Simon Snow series from Encyclopedia, the People's Encyclopedia. This article is about the children's book series. For other uses, see Simon Snow. Disambiguation. Simon Snow is a series of 7 fantasy books written in English. Written by English philologist Gemma T. Leslie. The books tell the story of Simon Snow, an 11-year-old orphan from Lancashire who is recruited to attend the Watford School of Magics to become a magician. As he grows older, Simon joins a group of magicians, the Mage, who are fighting the insidious humdrum and evil being trying to rid the world of magic. Since the publication of criticized for the violence in this series and for creating a hero who is sometimes selfish and bad-tempered. An exorcism scene in the fourth book, Simon Snow and the Steel Keys War, triggered boycotts among American Christians group in 2008, but the books are widely considered modern classics. And in 2010, Time magazine called Simon the greatest children literary characters since Huckleberry Finn. An eighth book, the last in the series, is set to be released May 11, 2012. So, if this ain't like it's supposed to be Harry Potter, if you're a Harry Potter fan and you were born in 1998, before or after, please let me know. All my friends were born either 1999 or 2000 to 2001, and none of them like Harry Potter, and I hate that so much because I cannot do reference. Okay, 1. There was a boy in a room. God looked up their number painted on the door, then down at the room assignment in her hand. Pound Hall 913. This was definitely room 913, but maybe it wasn't Pound Hall. All these dormitories looked alike, like public housing towers for the elderly. Maybe Kath should try to catch her dad before he brought up the rest of her boxes. You must be Kath, the boy said, grinning and holding out his hand. Kath, she said, feeling a panicky jump in her stomach. She ignored his hands. She was holding a box anyway. What did he expect from her? This was a mistake. This has to be a mistake. She knew that Pound was a co-ed dorm. Is there such a thing as co-ed rooms? The boy took the box out of her hand and set it into an empty bed. The bed on the other side of the room was already covered with clothes and boxes. Do you have more stuff downstairs? He asked. We just finished. I think we're going to get a burger now. Do you want to get a burger? Have you been to Pierce yet? Burgers the size of your fist. He picked up her arm. She swallowed. Make a fist, he said. Cat did. Bigger than your fist. The boy said, dropping her hand and picking up the backpack she left outside of the door. Do you have more boxes? You've got to have more boxes. Are you hungry? He was tall and thin and tan, and he looked like he'd just taken off a stocking cap. Dark blonde hair flopping in every direction. Kath looked down her room assignment again. Was this Regan? That's how you say the name, Regan. The boy said happily, look, your roommate's here. A girl stepped around Kath in the doorway and glanced back coolly. She had smooth, outburn hair and an unlit cigarette in her mouth. The boy grabbed it and put it in his own mouth. Regan, Cather, Regan, he said. Kath said. I suck at names. Regan nodded and finished in her purse for another cigarette. I took this aside, she said, nodding to the pile of boxes on the right side of the room. But it doesn't matter if you got feng shui issues. Feel free to move my shit. She turned to the boy. Ready? He turned to Kath. Coming. Kath shook her head. When the door shut behind them, she sat on the bare mattress that was apparently hers. Shui was the least of her issues. And later hit against the cinder block wall. She just needed to settle her nerves. To take the anxiety she felt like black static behind her eyes and an extra heart in her throat, and shove it all back down her stomach where it all belonged, where she could at least tie it into a nice knot and work around it. Her dad and Rin will be up in a minute, and Kath didn't want them to know she was about to melt down. If Kath melted down, her dad will melt down, and if either of them melt down, Rin will act like they were doing it on purpose, just to ruin her perfect first day on campus, her beautiful new adventure. You're going to thank me for this, Rin kept saying. The first time she'd said it, it was back in June. Kath had already sent in her university house uniform. And of course she'd put Ren down as her roommate. She hadn't thought twice about it. The two of them had shared a room for 18 years. Why stop now? We've shared a room for 18 years, Ren argued. She was sitting at the head of Kath's bed, wearing her infuriating "I'm the mature one" face. And it's worked out great, Kath said. Kath, waving her arm around their bathroom at the stacks of the book and the Simon Snow posters at the closet where they shoved all their clothes, not even worrying most of the time what belonged to whom. Kath was sitting at the foot of the bed, trying not to look like the pathetic one who always cries. This is college, Ren persisted. The whole point of college is meeting new people. The whole point of having a twin sister, Kath said, is not having to worry about this sort of thing. Freaky strangers who steal your tampons and smell like salad dressing and take cell phone photos of you while you'll sleep. Ren sighed. What are you even talking about? What would anybody smell like salad dressing? Like vinegar, Kat said. Remember when we went on the freshman tour and that one girl's room smelled like Italian dressing? No. Well, it was gross. It's college, Ren said. Expirated, covering her face with her hands. It's supposed to be an adventure. It's already an adventure. Kath crawled up to her sister and pulled Ren's hands away from her face. The whole prospect is already terrifying. We're supposed to meet new people, Ren repeated. I don't need new people. That just shows how much you need people. Oh, that just shows how much you need new people. Ren squeezed Kath's hand. Kath, think about it. If we do this together, people will treat us like we're the same person. It'll be for years before anyone can even tell us apart. All they have to do is pay attention. Kath touched the scar on Ren's chin just below her lip. Sledding accident. They were 9 and Ren was on the front of the sled when it hit the tree. Kat had fallen off the back into the snow. You know I'm right. Ren said. Kat shook her head. I don't. Kat, please don't make me do this alone. You're never alone, Ren said. That's the whole effing point of having a twin sister. Alright, so I remember why I had a hard time with this book, because the main character is extremely annoying, and usually when I don't like a This is really nice, their dad said, looking around pound 913 and setting a laundry basket full of shoes and books on Kath's mattress. It's not nice, Dad, Kath said, standing stiffly by the door. It's like a hospital room, but smaller and without a TV. You've got a great view on campus, he said. Ren wandered over the window. My room faces a parking lot. How do you know? Kath asked. Google Earth. Ren couldn't wait for all this college stuff to start. She and her roommate, Courtney, had been talking for weeks. Courtney was from Omaha, too. The two of them had already met and gone shopping for dorm room stuff together. Kath had tagged along and tried not to pout while they picked out posters and matching desk lamps. Kath's dad came back from the window and put an arm around her shoulders. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, he said. She nodded. I know. College, am I right? Okay, he said, clapping. Next stop is Graham Hall. Second stop, pizza buffet. Third stop, my sad and empty nest. No pizza, Ren said. Sorry, Dad, Courtney and I are going to the freshman barbecue tonight. She shut her eyes at Kath. Kath should go too. Yes, pizza, Kath said defiantly. And your dad smiled. Your sister's right, Kath. You should go meet new people. All I'm going to do for the next 9 months is meet new people. Today I choose pizza buffet. Ren rolled her eyes. Alright, their dad said, patting Kath on the shoulder. Next stop, Scram Hall, ladies. He opened the door. Kath didn't move. You can come back for me after you drop her off, she said, watching her sister. I want to start unpacking. Ren didn't argue, just stepped out into the hall. I'll talk to you tomorrow, she said, not quite turning to look at Kath. Sure, Kath said. It did feel good unpacking, putting sheets on the bed and setting her new ridiculously expensive textbook out on the shelves over her new desk. When her dad came back, they talked together to Valentino's. Everyone they saw along the way it was about Kath's age. It was creepy. Why is everybody blonde? Kath asked. And why are they all white? Her dad laughed. You're just used to living in the least white neighborhood in Nebraska. Their house in South Omaha was a Mexican neighborhood. Kath was the only white family on the block. Oh God, she said. Do you think this town has a taco truck? I think I saw Chipotle. She groaned. Come on, he said. You like Chipotle? Not the point. When they go to Valentino's, it was packed with students. A few like Kat had come with their parents, but not many. It's like a science fiction story, she said. No little kids, nobody over 30. Where are all the old people? Her dad helped up his slice of pizza. Silent green. Kat laughed. I'm not old, you know. He was tapping the table with the two middle fingers of his left hand. 41. The other guys my age at work are just starting to have kids. That was good thinking, Kat said, getting us out of the way early. You can start bringing home chicks now. The coast is clear. All my chicks, he said, looking down at his plate. You guys are the only chicks I'm worried about. Now look, Dad. Weird. You know what I mean. What's up with you and your sister? You've never fought like this before. We're not fighting now. sure I can stick this out the whole semester. She was only slightly kidding, and he knew it. You'll be fine, Kath. He put his last twitchy hand over hers and squeezed. And so will I, you know. Kat let herself look in his eyes for a moment. He looked tired and yes, twitchy. But he was holding it together. I still wish you get a dog, she said. I'd never remember to feed it. Maybe we could train it to feed you. Yeah. When Kat got back to her room, her roommate Regan was still gone, or maybe she was gone again. Her boxes looked untouched. Kat finished putting her own clothes away, then opened the box of personal things she brought from home. Fuck, I forgot where I'm reading. Okay. She took out a photo of herself and ran, pinned it to the corkboard behind her desk. It was from graduation. Both of them were wearing red robes and smiling. It was before Fran cut her hair. Fran hadn't even told Kathy she was going to do that. Just came home from work at the end of the summer with a pixie cut. It looked awesome, which probably meant it would look awesome on Kath, too. But Kath could never get a haircut now, even if she could work up the courage to cut 15 inches. She couldn't single white female her own twin sister. Next, Kath took out a framed photo of their dad, the one that had always sat on their dresser back home. It was an especially handsome photo taken on his wedding day. He was young and smiling and wearing a little sunflower on his lapel. Kath set it on the shelf above her desk. Then she set up a picture from a prom of her and Abel. Kath was wearing a shimmering green dress and Abel had a matching cummerbund. It was a good picture of Kath, even though her face looked naked and flat without her glasses. And it was a good picture of Abel, even though he looked bored. Okay. He always looked kinda bored. Kath probably should have texted Abel by now, just to tell him that she made it, but she wanted to wait until she felt more breezy and nonchalant. You can't take back texts. If you come off all moody and melancholy in a text, it just sits there in your phone, reminding you of what of drag you are. At the bottom of the box were Kath's Simon and Baz posters. She laid this out on her bed carefully. A few were originals, drawn or painted just for Kath. She'd have to choose her favorite. There wasn't room for them all on the corkboard, and Kath had already decided not to hang out any on the walls. At work, God and everybody would notice them. She picked out 3. Simon raising the sword of my mage. Baz lunch. There were a few more things left in the box. A dried corsage, a ribbon Ryan had given her that said Clean Plate Club, commemorative busts of Simon and Baz that she'd ordered from the novel collection. Kath found a place for everything. Then she sat in the beat-up wooden desk chair. If she sat right there, with her back to Reagan's bare wall, boxes. It almost felt like home. And that's the end of chapter 1. I guess I'll continue to record the continuations of both books. So yeah, and like I say in all my videos, I hope you guys are asleep